Turning now to the new details in the Will Smith-Chris Rock Oscars showdown on stage. We've learned the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences said that Smith was actually asked to leave Sunday's Oscars after slapping Rock, but he refused to leave. Many have questioned why Smith was allowed to stay in the front row after the incident. Now, the Academy said things unfolded in a way we could not have anticipated. And while we would like to clarify that Mr. Smith was asked to leave the ceremony and refused, we also recognize we could have handled the situation differently. The Academy's Board of Governors met yesterday to start disciplinary proceedings against Smith for violating the group's standard of conduct. Now, the code of conduct includes inclusion, fostering supportive environments, respect for human dignity. And the Academy says Smith can defend himself in a written response before the Board of Governors meets again on April 18th. Now, disciplinary action could include suspension, expulsion, or even other sanctions. And as for Chris Rock, he has yet to speak publicly about the incident. Smith apologized to Rock Monday, saying in part that he was out of line and wrong. The Academy responded to that by saying, "Mr. Rock, we apologize to you for what you experienced on our stage, and thank you for your resilience in that moment." All right, still with me, trial attorney Rachel Fiset. Now, Rachel also used to represent the Academy. Check that out. But also, even more importantly, she's actually been to the Oscars. All right, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, I want to begin there, though. As someone who's actually been to the Oscars, what was your response to this? I mean, it was incredible.
So this is interesting because I've been to the Oscars as the Oscars attorneys. So the Oscars does have a lot of attorneys on hand in a security capacity at the event. And the reason that happens, generally speaking, is because people are trying to sneak into the Oscars, or people have transferred a ticket to somebody who your ticket's not transferable. So there's basically a lot of security upon entrance into the Oscars. There's a lot of interviews. There's a lot of lawyers there, and there's there's a city attorney there. There's other people there waiting to enforce Oscars code of conduct, Oscars rules on behalf of the Academy. So what is happening here is interesting because what the Academy does not expect to happen is for a crime to be committed once the show has begun. So once the show has begun, there's a little bit more of the lawyers are spread out, people are in their seats, and they're less prepared, not less prepared, but there's less of a reason to believe that something like this could happen on stage. And as we were just talking about the crime on video in the Mosley case, we all watched a crime happen on the stage of the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. That was what was so shocking about it. Now, you say attorneys are there. Is that the first move for the Academy? Something like this happens, I would imagine they want to then get together and figure out what to do about it. It's so shocking. I would imagine attorneys would be included in that conversation.
Oh, I would imagine that too, that this would be a very attorney-heavy conversation because there is a violation of the code of conduct, a violation of the bylaws, and a violation of the law. Now, what do? We have a potential Oscar winner that may take the stage, and somebody there, knows that in 20 to 30 minutes, but he just ran up on stage and hit one of our presenters. Okay, what do we do? And the Oscars is, again, it driven by entertainers. And so I think they are also worried about offending one of their own in a lot of ways. And so I think there's a little bit of shock. My guess is there was a little bit of shock that was running through.
Uh-oh, looks like All right, we lost Rachel there for a second. Gosh, I was really enjoying her answers, getting that sort of inside take on it. Quickly, a couple of things. You know, back in 2004, you know, the FCC, they fined Janet Jackson for, you remember, I don't know if you remember, but there was Wardrobe Gate. She was actually fined. It was CBS that aired the Super Bowl that was fined $550,000. Ultimately, a court threw that out, saying it didn't align with the FCC's powers. So I was wondering here if that might happen, where the FCC might jump in and try to fine ABC or whoever aired it, because there have been a number of complaints. I was understanding that about 60 to 70 people called in to complain about it all. All right, looks like we have Rachel Fiset back. All right, Rachel, let's continue on because we're going to run out of time here. We know that a disciplinary proceeding has been called now. The Academy's going to get together. Tell us what you can about that. What does that look like? How does that proceed forward?
So they have launched a formal investigation on Monday. From where I'm sitting, I don't think there's a ton to investigate. But what has come out since Monday was someone asked Will Smith to leave, and he refused to. Now, what I think cleared up a little bit today from sources is that it may not have been an official request from the Academy directly to Will Smith, but instead that someone from the Academy asked his publicist to ask him to leave. He refused through his publicist, and he didn't leave. So I think that's been a result of the investigation that's at least being leaked. But now they will take their facts as they know them, which again, we've got a video of most of them, and they will apply them to their code of conduct and their bylaws, and then they will determine what is a sufficient consequence as it relates to this action.
And finally, Rachel, what do you suspect they're going to do?
I suspect that he will not be allowed to attend next year and present as he would normally as best actor. I think what's going on is as time goes by, the outrage is probably they're taking the temperature of the outrage. So maybe he'll be suspended from the Academy for some amount of time, and then I think he will not be allowed to attend for 1 to 5 years. That's my guess.
It sounds about right to me. Any of those is fine with me. I just thought it was a shocking thing, and they certainly have to take a stand against it. All right, Rachel Fiset, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Truly appreciate it. Thanks for your insights. Really enjoyed that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, have a great evening. All right.